Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is M.Farhan Soleh. My NPM is 182122073. I'm from class B, and I'm the first presenter in the presentations about how to adapting in the ELT material. So let's check the first slide. So in the first slide, you see in the top right of the corner, it said why. Why? What? Why? Why? Huh? What? Why? Do you know why? I don't know why.
That's what she said.
So let's see. Let's just read the text. The first one is not enough grammar coverage in general. Maybe it's talking about the ability or the knowledge about student, and most of the student not able to adapt in the ELT material, or maybe teachers as well, because they don't have enough grammar coverage in general. So let's check the second one. Not enough practice of grammar point of particular difficulty to learner. So some students have really poor grammar ability, including me. Just straight to be honest, some students have really poor grammar ability, and most of them don't have any reason or maybe any chance to learn more, or they just have really bad time to or struggling a lot to learn the grammar, so that they have less or less knowledge about the grammar in the particular difficult of learner. So the next one is the communicative focus, means the grammar is presented unsystematically. That's unsystematically. So the way the teachers present the grammar to the student is not unsystematically. Grammar is the most important thing in the language in general, not just in English. All language has their own grammar system, but especially in English, we have a different level type of the grammar. We have a tense. We have tenses. We have just a structure of the word itself is different from the others. Just comparing it to Indonesia, it's really different. So the next one is reading passage contain too much unknown vocabulary. So as a teacher, especially when you want to teach something to your student, you definitely had to use the easy vocabulary that most student heard and student understand. You can't just go out using some terminal word and something that really unnecessary and student didn't understand. So the next one is the comprehension question are too easy because they sound too much like written material being read out, just like this. So the next one, not enough guidance on pronunciation. This is definitely a huge issue, huge problem in the classes. Most of a student who actually has a good reputation or has a good score in a grammar learning has really poor pronunciation, because they just learn. They don't try to see how people or try to hear and try to mimic someone else or the real native pronunciation, the real native spell. They didn't try to mimic that. They didn't even try or curious how these words actually said in the native speaker when they speak. So the next one, subject matter inappropriate for learner for particular age and in intellectual level. This is definitely a huge problem. These issues always appear in any classes, in high school, in the junior high school, even in elementary school. Some teachers actually choose the wrong material when they're teaching. They didn't see or they didn't follow the guidelines that the government or the school itself give to them, so that they could teach the student in the right way. Maybe there's some new technique or some experiment that the teachers try to do to the student, but at the end of the day we try to do some best result and also try to reach the standard to the other school in the learning experience, especially in English. English is important. Now let's see to the next slide. Another Y in the corner. Why? Okay. Photograph and other illustrative material are not culturally acceptable. I don't know about this one. Most of the book that I've read actually quite acceptable for me, but maybe there are some, and it's maybe not appropriate for a children or a student, but story of my life. So, amount of material too great or too little to cover in the time allocated. Sometimes teachers plan their teaching in a certain time, in a certain meeting, but sometimes due to some problems, to situations of the global itself, just for example now COVID-19, we learn in online meeting, it's actually not that effective, just to be honest, not that effective. I hate that. So the next one, no guidance for teachers on handling group work and role play activities with a large class. This is definitely really hard problem to solve, especially a number of English teachers in this country is actually not that lot. So a lot of demand from the student, from school, yeah, a lot of school has a lot of class and there's only one teachers, and these teachers definitely has a lot of bad time trying to teach this whole class by themselves. So we definitely need more teachers that competent and also in the correct number that matches the class, maybe not the class, but just effectively consistent with the number of students that teach by them. So the next one, dialogue are too formal and not really representative of everyday speech. Yeah, you know that, right? Okay, audio material difficult to see because of problem with room size and technical equipment. Yeah. You see that most of schools didn't even have audio speaker in the in the school or in the classroom. Only a few selected school, even they didn't have a really best quality of speaker in the room. So maybe use some other technique, but audio hearing ability is definitely really important. So the next one's too much or too little variety in activities. Maybe I'm gonna cut it quite a bit because it's take really long time than I expected. The next one is a vocabulary list, and the key to exercise would be helpful. See that? My pronunciation is really bad.
That's what she said. Michael.
So the next one's accompanying tasks needed. See? That's it. Thank you for stay tuned to my presentation. So let's switch to the next presenter, shall we?